Westfield Scotch Plains football. The Blue Devils 7-0 on the year, ranked number 11 in the state, trying to extend their state-long winning streak to 33 games this afternoon against their rival. Michael Lennier alongside Chris Witzel. And Chris, Westfield fresh off the bye, but 2 weeks ago they took down the Immaculata Spartans, and senior running back Wandre House had a tremendous game, Chris.
Yeah, like 233 yards on the ground with one touchdown. He was the definite playmaker in that game. If it wasn't for him, things could have gone bad for Westfield, but he definitely stuck it out, and he showed why he should be one of the best running backs on this team.
Yeah, Jake Valabera had another rushing touchdown in that game, and then Hank Shapiro found Stevie Barden in the corner of the end zone. And this afternoon, Chris, Westfield is taking on this Scotch Plains team who's coming off back-to-back 1-9 seasons. Their only win has been the consolation game, and it's basically the same exact year. They're 0-8. They have their senior quarterback, Cooper Heisey, who's been the leader, a 2.5-year starter, and he needs to have a tremendous game, Chris, if Scotch Plains has any chance of competing this afternoon.
Well, this season, Mike, he already has 2,300 yards passing, which is absolutely phenomenal, with 20 touchdowns but 11 interceptions. So this Westfield secondary with only 2 interceptions on the year, one coming from Stevie Barden, the other from Drew Ortiz. They got to be ready for the ball coming their way. And we're probably going to see a lot of backups in there today, too. We'll probably see, Matt McIntyre, if he's healthy, back in there at cornerback. Peyton Schlua coming off the meniscus injury back in there. Corey Kanya at linebacker. We're going to see a lot of backups in there because, as you said before, both teams going in opposite directions. And for Westfield, it's going up, Scotch Plains down.
A tune-up for the Blue Devils as they get ready for the state playoffs. One of 4 home games in the month of November. Next week will be the opening round, then the second round the week after, and then the Thanksgiving game, and hopefully in December, the state title. Westfield and Scotch Plains on the gridiron, coming right up on BDTV. Welcome to Garrett Kaler Stadium, everybody, as the Westfield Blue Devils taking on their rival, Scotch Plains-Fanwood. And the Blue Devils 7-0 on the season, trying to improve to 8-0 and extend their state-long winning streak to 33 consecutive games. The sophomore Will Kessler sends it away and bobbled by Anthony Porter, the returner for the Raiders, and downed at the 21-yard line. The senior Adam McDaniel coming up with the stop. And out comes this 0-8 Scotch Plains Raider offense, Chris. But if there's one strength to this team that's struggled so much in the past 4 years, it's their senior quarterback, captain, and 3-year starter, Cooper Heisey, picking up Division I Ivy League offers.
Yeah, Mike, this season, 2,300 yards passing, 4,700 in his entire high school career. So he likes to throw the football. He likes just to let it go to his receivers, but 11 interceptions with 20 touchdowns on the year. It's not what you want.
And that pass almost intercepted. Jordan Simpson, the junior corner, in the area.
This Westfield secondary is going to be very busy. Heisey, as I just said, throws the ball all over the field. And McDaniel, Barden, and Simpson have to be ready.
And then, as you mentioned in our pregame, Chris, the Scotch Plains, they love to throw the football. You mentioned Cooper Heisey. 4,740 career passing yards in his 3 years as under center for the Raiders. 39 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. But the most important stat, a 2-22 career record. And that pass is complete out to Anthony Porter, the junior receiver. And like many of these Raiders, Chris, they're playing both ways. Only about 50 members on the team.
Yeah, if you look at the Westfield sideline compared to the Scotch Plains, you can tell Westfield's a lot more players. That's because, one guy doesn't go both ways. Either you play quarterback or you play safety. You don't do either.
Another big thing is if you're a Westfield student, you want a ring, you want to be a part of a great program. Scotch Plains, not the case. And that pass is incomplete, intended for the star receiver, Dwight Layler. Had a really nice game last year when these two teams met at Scotch Plains. So it's a 3-and-out for the Raiders.
Not sure if they're going for it or not. Looks like Heisey is coming off the field.
A 3-and-out on their opening possession.
And, Mike, I just realized that Westfield, they weren't going with the safety on that play. They went with 5 linebackers. They had Dwyer in there and brought Stevie Barden out. Not sure where Barden is, but, he's one of the best cornerbacks on this team. As right now I see him coming out of the tunnel, so I'm not sure there's miscommunication before the game or just had to get taped up.
It's
unusual
Anthony
formation.
Porter, and it is a fake. Porter's pass is complete. A first down for Scotch Plains. Completed to Alex Asislo, the junior, the three-sport athlete. And right there, Anthony Porter, Chris, we've seen him do it all in just one set of downs. Had the return on the kickoff, then was the intended receiver on that first pass, and then lines up as the punter and completes a pass to Asislo.
It was a very weird formation, as it didn't really look like he was lined up to punt the ball.
Pump fake. Heisey has a receiver in Dwight Layler, but he overthrows him to make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Heisey starting off this game 0-3. Right there is third in completion, and this Westfield secondary is doing a great job of containing the receivers. So many players on this Scotch Plains team has over 300 yards receiving. One being Porter, another being Sanders, both having over 300. And also Stewart coming in with 761. He's number 2.
No one in the backfield. 5 receivers, and the Raiders have another first down. Anthony Porter all the way inside the red zone down near the 12-yard line. Anthony Porter having an incredible first drive.
And it looks like now
and a huge play for the Scotch Plains-Fanwood Raiders.
Sean Dwyer was coming out of the game. Stevie Barden going back in. That's what happens when you don't have that safety valve in there at safety. Limits the big plays, and right there, huge gain as it sets up Scotch Plains at Westfield's 10-yard line.
So the Raiders coming out and surprising this Westfield defense. Heisey looking in the end zone. It's incomplete. There is a penalty marker. Jordan Simpson on the coverage there, making the deflection.
And it's thrown in Simpson's area, so it's most likely going to be pass interference on him. It is.
That's a tough call.
Yeah.
I didn't see too much.
Looked like number 1 of Scotch Plains, Dwight Layler, had the easy slant over the middle, but Simpson was behind him too, so usually on a pass interference or hold, the defensive player has the edge, but right there, Layler did. But nevertheless, puts the ball up 5 yards, half distance to the goal, and still 1st and goal.
And Chris, as we mentioned, Scotch Plains are coming off back-to-back 1-9 seasons in 2015 2016, where their only win came in the consolation game. So they had back-to-back 0-9 regular seasons. There's Asislo up the middle, just shy of the goal line.
So much going on in that one play. Didn't know where the ball was going. More of a delay or a draw, but it picks up 4, so it brings up 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line for Scotch Plains, but very pass-heavy. But we do see a lot of rushing by the Scotch Plains team. Their leading rusher is Alex Asislo with 458 yards, so wouldn't be surprised him to ram it in. As you said, he does it all.
Yeah, he got a lot of carries as a sophomore last year. Heisey, quarterback sneak up the middle, but the Westfield front line was there. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. And Chris, the problem all year for Scotch Plains, it's not been the offense. As we mentioned, they have their star quarterback, and they've been able to put up points. They put up 46 in a wild one last week at home against Somerville, but their defense let up 82.
Yeah, that's I don't even ever heard of that in Westfield. New Jersey sports for football, especially high school. Absolutely unbelievable. 82 points in a game, only playing 48 minutes.
Heisey, pass is incomplete. Dwight Layler had it in his hands, but it comes out at the last second. So now the Raiders will probably go for it, considering they went for it on 4th and 4 inside their own 30. Now they have a 4th and goal just inches away from the end zone. And speaking of this offense, Chris, the SPF has put up more points than Westfield has this year.
Well, yeah, but still, whatever it comes down to, it just comes down to how many wins you have. And Westfield, I know they haven't had that many points for them, but their defense has definitely been top in New Jersey. Only letting up, I believe, 6 points last week, 6 points the previous week, and 6 points the week before that. Absolutely incredible. They've let up the most 7 points in a game, and that's fantastic. And with 9:02 to go, it's going to be 4th and goal at the 1 for Scotch Plains. Mike, right now, everyone just linebackers, defensive line, they got to stack the box, make sure no runs game. But this secondary with Barden, McDaniel, and Simpson, just make sure at first no penalties, as that it will be a first down or half the distance, but wouldn't be too likely. And also just lock down, as it looks like there's going to be 5 receivers spread out wide with only 10 yards to work with.
9 minutes to play. A 3-minute drive for the Raiders. Trying to punch it in. Open receiver. It is caught. Touchdown, Scotch Plains. Anthony Porter, the junior, 5'7", caught a touchdown right there, and he had a huge throw on the fake punt attempt earlier in this drive. So Scotch Plains comes into Westfield and just absolutely stuns this Blue Devil defense and silences this crowd. And now it looks like
a lot of trickery from the Scotch Plains team early.
They set up like they were going to go for 2, but now in the extra point formation, Heisey is going to hold it. And a penalty marker.
But the thing that really sparked this whole drive was that fake punt. And it definitely surprised this whole Westfield team. And right there, Will Kessler was on the coverage. He has been fantastic this whole season, coming up with big tackles. But right there, not necessarily a person who you want guarding a receiver, as just the inexperience didn't really go in his favor.
False start on Scotch Plains. They'll back him up. It was the senior Max Toll set to kick this extra point. So it'll be a 24-yard PAT for the senior Max Toll. And it is blocked. So a nice job by the special teams unit of the Blue Devils.
So good this season. I just said before, letting up 6 points only in their last 3 games, 6 in each game, excuse me. And that's because they're just getting in there and stopping the point, even if the kicker just misses it wide left or right. It's the pressure that the Westfield special teams applies, just absolutely annihilating the line and making a miss. And right now, this Westfield special teams unit, Emmett Smith, probably one of the most electrifying returners Westfield has had in the past couple years. Back there to return along with Stevie Barden, but it's always exciting seeing Smith return. First time, it was against Basking Ridge. He had that return where the ball bounced right in front of him, picked it up, and just went with it. Same thing against Franklin. He's been doing it all year long. We're waiting for that touchdown, though.
So not what we were expecting, though. Cooper Heisey leads the drive, sparked by the big play on the fake punt, and then a huge conversion down the field to Anthony Porter. And then on 4th and goal, SPF takes another chance, and they complete the touchdown. The extra point is blocked. Max Toll squibbed this one, and Smith will pick it up at the 15. On the far sideline, an excellent return for Emmett Smith into Raider territory down near the 47.
That's the explosion from Smith that everyone wants to see, and shows it again right there. A 40-yard return gets it into Scotch Plains territory. Another fantastic return. Now this offense has got to get some points on the board. And Smith back out there at wide receiver along with Griffin Rooney. And it looks like Wandre House is going to be getting the first carry out there today. 2 weeks ago, 233 yards to the touchdown. Showed why he should be one of the number 1 ball carrier on this team, as he goes right up the middle for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, Wandre House had a tremendous game, as you're just talking about, Chris. Over 240 yards and the touchdown. Remember, week 1, he was the starter, had a great first game, about 75 yards, and came just shy of a touchdown on the right-hand side. As play action, Shapiro, his first pass attempt is incomplete. The intended target was Colin Freer, the sophomore tight end, tripped up by Dwight Layler, but no penalty. 3rd and 7.
It was a good play action fake by Shapiro, the fake right to House, and everyone was running a vertical right there. You had Smith and Rooney and then Freer right along the middle of the field. It looked like there could have been a flag, but I think it was more of a trip, if anything, just from Freer just getting caught in his ankles. And right now bringing up a 3rd and 7. Stevie Barden checks into the game for Jacobsgarten.
Stevie Barden, number 1 on the bottom of your screen, and that's where the ball's going. A big completion from Hank Shapiro, and Stevie Barden coming up clutch for the first down.
He doesn't start out there, but he is definitely the number 1 receiver coming into this game. 9 receptions for 211 yards and 4 touchdowns, and right there picking up a huge chunky yardage to push Westfield even further down the field, getting them to Scotch Plains' 25-yard line. Just another absolutely unbelievable catch.
A low snap. There's the pitch. House has room on the left. And he's brought out of bounds by Layler. A nice gain. Westfield able to make something out of that. It could have been a lot worse. We've seen it time and time again, Chris, with the low snaps. And Shapiro unable to control him.
Yeah, right now, Russell Weber still the starting center out there. And Jack McCauley moves over to right tackle for Jordan Barham. So it just shows that Russell Weber, he had a great game last week, just getting everything right where Shapiro wanted it. And this week again, it was a low snap, but he could definitely bounce back from it.
Yeah, the McCauley brothers playing opposite sides. The sophomore Declan McCauley at left tackle. The senior Jack McCauley moving over from center to right tackle. Jack number 73, Declan number 63.
It's basically giving the same guy, just giving him a different jersey. Same size, same height, and just same athletic ability, as they haven't given up too many sacks this year. And that's why Westfield's just able to score points, are nevertheless just able to protect Shapiro in the pocket as Smith checks back in, and it's Smith, Barden, and Bruni out there at wide receiver.
Allegro at left guard, and Isaac Montez at right guard, and Russell Weber at center. Play is blown dead. Penalty marker. Offsides on SPF.
Looks like it's number 17, Sharif Saleh, and that's going to move him up 5 yards, replay 3rd down.
7:04 to go here in quarter number 1. SPF leads it 6-0. And it is 3rd and 1 after the 5-yard penalty. House in the backfield. Hank Shapiro with 7 touchdowns, 600-plus yards. And House gets drilled. Javin Scott, the senior, wasn't going to stop until he had House pinned back about 6 yards, but still 4th and 1 after forward progress is ruled.
And House still in for this 4th and short situation. Usually bringing the power back, maybe Valabera, even Allegro being a little bit bigger than House.
They're throwing it. Shapiro in trouble, and he is sacked. It's Nick Palazzello, the senior linebacker, getting a big stop and a turnover on downs for the Blue Devils on their opening possession.
And it was a little surprising not seeing Valabera out there, just trying to get the ball through the, just get it past the 20-yard line. That's where the first down marker was. They didn't need that big touchdown. Just try to get that first down.
Heisey. Pass is complete to the left side. Brought down just shy of the first down marker. Shea Elliott on the stop, and that's Justin Sanders, one of the multiple receivers that Cooper Heisey likes to throw the ball to, Chris.
Yeah, Mike, this season, Justin Sanders, 37 receptions for 593 yards, right near 600, with 5 receiving touchdowns. So, yeah, he's definitely up there where Heisey wants him to be, just one of the great receivers on the Scotch Plains team. But this Westfield secondary, they're giving a little bit of a cushion. You got to be on there because right now every single pass, it's except for one, has just been
Heisey taking a shot, and it's intercepted. The senior Stevie Barden leading the Blue Devils secondary and coming up with his second pick of the season.
Yeah, Mike, we were talking before this game how this Westfield defense, they've got to be alert for Heisey. Is he just going to throw the ball all over the place? And Stevie Barden coming up with his second pick of the season, and it's going to get Westfield the ball back. Another great play by Barden. He's been doing it all year, and he picks up another one. Now this offense for Westfield's got to get clicking. Hank Shapiro, for second play of the game for the Westfield offense, threw it deep, and the Freer didn't get tripped up. That could have been maybe a touchdown, if not a big play, but he did hit Stevie Barden over the middle. Wandre House has got to get going. I'm not going to be surprised if Tim Allegro's in there, just to try to get a couple carries. But right now, House is in there at tailback right now with Smith and Rooney at receiver.
And Chris, that's a huge interception for this Westfield team, because you know that Scotch Plains is going to put up points, and Westfield's offense has really been struggling to get in the end zone. Shapiro taking a shot. Emmett Smith just about 5 yards in front of him.
And it looks like they brought Jordan Barham in at offensive line. I'm not sure who for you. I believe it is for Isaac Montez at right guard. But right there, going back to that pass play, that was a good ball by Hank Shapiro. It looked like a little overthrown. It looked like Smith was giving all he got to try to chase that ball down. But it did look like a good ball, but he just got it under control, and he's got to hit his targets.
2nd and 10.
As Cass is checked into the game.
Wandre House gets the carry, picks up 2. Make it 3rd and 8, the second drive for this offense. With 5:15 here in the opening quarter. The Blue Devils 7-0 on the year. They haven't lost since mid-November of 2014. Scotch Plains 0-8 on the season. But they lead it late in quarter number 1. Shapiro on 3rd down. Can't find Griffin Rooney. The sophomore was the intended target. And Will Kessler will come out to punt for the first time this afternoon.
There did seem to be a little bit of contact right there with Rooney at receiver. Nevertheless, Kessler coming into punt. He has done a great job this season of pinning the opposing team of Westfield deep in their own territory, but right now kicking from about his own 25-yard line with number 9 of Scotch Plains, Justin Sanders, back at his own 30.
Plenty of time for Kessler. It's a low punt. Sanders picks it up, and Adam McDaniel quickly brings him down.
Yeah, McDaniel's able to get down there quick, and Colin Freer able to deliver the final blow to pin Scotch Plains pretty deep in their own territory, right at their own 23-yard line. And right now this defense has got to step it up, make another big play to make sure this Westfield offense has another chance to get out there, because these first 2 drives, Mike, they've not been really up to Westfield standards.
So the spread offense is out there again. Cooper Heisey doesn't move, barely moves in that pocket. Just after he gets that snap, just stands still. 6'4", over 200 pounds, picking up some Division I looks.
And if he was playing for, another team, just this Scotchman team, it's not that good. If he was playing for someone like Westfield, where he was starting quarterback, he was getting looks from all over. Just the way that he throws the ball and finds his receivers. If he just had a better offensive line, maybe a couple better receivers, he could get that job done.
Heisey gets sacked. Jake Valabera is there, the senior captain, with another sack.
Yeah, Valabera, that's his 8th sack of the season. Absolutely fantastic. And another great play. You see the dance at the end there. Just another big play by number 8 of this defense.
Westfield has won the past 4 meetings between the Raiders, a combined score of 155-51. Last year, Phil Martini and company put a beating on SPF 46-7.
Let's not forget that 46-yard QB.
And this one is tipped and intercepted. Jake Dayon is going to be down just at the 1-yard line, but nonetheless an incredible play. The ball from Cooper Heisey deflected and falls right in the hands of the other senior captain, Jake Dayon, and he makes an incredible return and sets up this Westfield offense perfectly.
Dayon with his first interception as a senior for this Westfield team. Almost gets the pick six that Westfield really wanted, but nevertheless gets him down to the Scotch Plains 2-yard line. Jake Dayon coming up with the huge play, and right now this Westfield offense has got to get it done. Jumbo package in there right now for the Blue Devils with Valabera, Ortiz, and Elliott in the backfield, and everyone cramped in on the offensive line.
They give it to Valabera, and he has himself another touchdown. So Westfield ties it, and they'll send out Aiden Bolin to give them the lead.
Valabera's 5th rushing touchdown on the season. If you want to add that 2-yard run right there, puts him at 145 yards rushing on the season as well. The defensive end who can run the football and pass, just the guy you want on your team. And right now, if Aiden Bolin can convert, it'll give Westfield a 7-6 lead.
Jack McCall, even though he's playing right tackle, still handling long snapping duties. Junior Emmett Smith on the hold. And the senior, Aiden Bolin, extra point is good. So the Blue Devils take the lead, 7-6. Bolin is now 15 of 18 on extra points. A couple of those were blocked, and he's 2 of 3 on field goals on the year.
That looked not a lot of distance at the end of it. It hit the back soccer net back there, so they pushed him back a little bit, easily could have made it. Puts Westfield up 7-6, and right now this defense has just got to keep applying the pressure. We haven't seen us one defensive touchdown this season. We thought we had one right there with Jake Dayon, but still got Westfield in great field position to finish the drive with Valabera's touchdown.
So Will Kessler, the sophomore, will send it away. And we'll see how this Raider offense responds. Kick taken at the 16-yard line. On the far side of the field, returned out to the 30.
Not sure who came up with that tackle. It looked like it was Colin Freer, first one to get in there.
See a couple new faces on the special teams that we don't get to see too much on offense or defense. Isaiah Reese, Benny Bontempo.
Benito.
Making some plays. So 3:30 here in the first quarter. Westfield leads at 7-6.
Ooh.
And Dwight Layler almost comes up with an incredible one-handed grab, but can't bring it in.
Yeah, and I know that was a tough ball to catch, but still he got a hand on it. If he just had a little bit more to try to get on it, but still great effort. But that's technically his second drop of the game. First one was that drop in the end zone that a play later that Scotch Plains scored on, but nevertheless, second drop of the game. And you just said 3:30 to go here in this first quarter. Brings up 2nd and long for the Scotch Plains-Fanwood Raiders.
That's a tough matchup out there for Jordan Simpson guarding the much taller Dwight Layler. Screen pass to Sislo. First down and more near midfield. The junior Sislo comes up with a big reception off of the screen pass.
You're right there because everyone was either spread out wide. You saw Layler with Simpson just running down the field with him, taking him out of the play, and just able to pass it off to a Sislo for the big pickup on the screen pass. It's just the linebackers, they got to stay home. They've got to make sure they have a QB spy on Heisey at all times because big guy, probably doesn't have a lot of speed, but nevertheless he can probably scramble out of the pocket, but also for a Sislo, a definite speed back on this team and you got to keep an eye on him too.
Sislo in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 48. A perfect pass thrown by Cooper Heisey, complete to Isaiah Stewart, the junior receiver.
And with the Scotch Plains offense, they do a lot of check down plays. You know, it's either a 7-yard curl or a 5-yard out, even that screen pass before. Just all these short plays that just get a lot of time. Heisey doesn't need too much time to throw the ball and just picks up the yardage. It's just because the secondary just, as I said before, a little too much cushion. They got to play a little more up on them at the line of scrimmage.
Heisey has the first down to Justin Sanders. McDaniel and Simpson come up with the tackle.
Yeah, another simple 5-yard out play. I'm not sure if this Westfield team wants to stick with this zone man coverage that they have, or just try to go all zone, as if they just put those 4 linebackers up in the flat and 2 over the middle of the field, it can limit those 5-yard ins and those curl routes.
Under 2 to play. 3 receivers set. Play action, has to get it out quickly. And another drop this time. That's one Dwight Layler knows he should have had.
Yeah, right there. It looked like he would have had a little pressure coming in off his weak side, but he still could have gone over the middle of the field, pick up that first down. Another drop for Layler. And I'm not sure what it is, but Layler, a big receiver on this team with 521 yards receiving and 6 receiving touchdowns, leading the team. So a 2nd and long for this Raider offense, and everyone's spread out wide with Heisey alone in the backfield.
McDaniel and Dayon playing safety. And Joe Sangiacomo delivered a big hit, but Layler was wide open, makes the catch, and picks up a nice gain. Good enough for the first down. But Heisey took a huge hit from Sangiacomo.
Yeah, Sangiacomo.
Heisey's slow to get up to the line of scrimmage.
Sangiacomo just coming off the strong side, just face-to-face with Heisey and puts him down, but just able to get the pass off too late, making up for his mistake earlier, and picks up the first down for this Raider offense.
Scotch Plains driving late in the first quarter. They got a touchdown on their opening drive. Another completion. Ball came out at the end. Should be a fumble, but they're going to rule it an incomplete pass.
It's just too much of a bang-bang play to make the decision, but it looked like, I'm not sure who it was. I believe it was number 2, Isaiah Stewart, who caught the ball at first. No, excuse me, number 9, Justin Sanders. He had established himself on the ground. It's only high school, so you only have to get that 1 foot planted. And McDaniel coming up with a huge hit to knock the ball out, but nevertheless brings up a 2nd and 10. But if Westfield came up with that ball, it would have been a huge momentum shift for both sides.
Yeah, I don't think these refs were too confident in that call. It was the backside goal line official. Heisey, short pass completed. Will Kessler on the tackle. Anthony Porter, the junior, with the reception. But the 2 refs on the far side looked at each other, took about 5 seconds, and then very non-confidently ruled an incomplete pass. 3rd and 3 for the Raiders.
Look at the slot receivers, number 9, Stewart, and number 5, Porter.
Ball comes out.
The ball is fumbled.
Miscommunication from Heisey and the running back. And the Blue Devils have the football. A costly mistake. And Colin Freer comes up with the ball at the bottom of the pile. A huge stop from this Westfield defense when Heisey and the Raiders were driving, about to score.
The fumble that this Westfield team thought they had 2 plays before gets it right there. And now Hank Shapiro with Tim Allegro now in the backfield for these Blue Devils. Got to start marching down the field.
Big time stop for Westfield. Allegro, his first carry of the afternoon. His first carry since October 14th at High Point Solutions Stadium in the first half against Elizabeth. It's been a long time. Got hurt in that game. Was about 75% against Immaculata, so they decided to not play him at all. Bye week the week after, and only gets one carry here against Scotch Plains. So an interesting first quarter and a lot closer than we expected. Westfield leads it 7-6, and we'll be right back on BD TV. Second quarter here at Gary Kaler Stadium. The number 11 Westfield Blue Devils trying to make it 33 in a row. Hank Shapiro on the move and has Griffin Rooney for a huge gain down at the 47. The sophomore Seton Hall prep transfer, Griffin Rooney, making the grab.
Only his 4th reception of the season, but it was a big one, picking up a huge first down for this Blue Devil offense, and it gets them to their own 47-yard line. Rooney with probably the biggest catch of the day so far.
Ball at the 47. Allegro in the backfield gets the carry and breaks one tackle and has the first down. Down at the 42. A nice run and a nice second effort from the sophomore, number 33, Tim Allegro.
And the Scotch Plains defender was just ripping at his jersey, and Allegro was just carrying. If this is the NBA right now, the jersey would have torn right off him. But Allegro picks up the first down after the run.
Two receivers set. Emmett Smith on the far side. Rooney on the near. Allegro getting the ball this time. Alexis Sislo on the defensive side, getting the tackle in the backfield. And excuse me, Chris, that was Palazzolo.
And right now, this Westfield offense, they see that the run game, it's there, but it's not there as much as the pass game. Revert to it. Hank Shapiro, he's already got Stevie Barden with a nice slant over the middle of the field. And right there before with Rooney cutting across, picking up another big gain. As right now that Barden has checked into the game.
Allegro to the left, stiff arms, and is brought down. A nice gain by Allegro of about 6 yards.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. And more of a 3rd and 5 for this Westfield offense. And they're going to leave the remaining players out there with Rooney and Smith at the bottom of your screen and Barden at the top with Allegro in the backfield.
Big 3rd down right now, probably about the field position where you would go for it on 4th and short. Shapiro to his right has Emmett Smith, but it is incomplete. Defended by Isaiah Stewart, the junior.
Yeah, that one underthrown from Smith. First one to him was overthrown. And right now, I would bring out the punting unit because if Kessler can just get it to the sideline, and before we saw Adam McDaniel just race down the field and tackle Stewart deep in Scotch Plains territory, they have a good shot at pinning Scotch Plains deep and getting the 3 and out or turnover that they have twice already done. 3 times with that fumble last time. Kessler's got to play this smart and kick it to one of the sidelines. If not, just squib it down the middle of the field.
Nice punt from Kessler, but the special teams unit cannot get the football. It'll be a touchback, and the Raiders will take over from their own 20.
It had a little too much power on it. It was just too much of an arc and just too much, just too much power. McDaniel was there in the vicinity, but it just kept going, and the bounce of, technically for Westfield, as it was going further away, but it does go into the end zone for a touchback. And right now, this Westfield D do the same thing, apply the pressure. Heisey was driving last time. He had the ball down the field. But right now, this Westfield secondary, and not just secondary, the whole defense has been extraordinary.
Sislo gets the carry right around the 30. Kessler on the tackle. A first down for Scotch Plains. And whatever happens today, Chris, Westfield has the 1 seed clinched, so they'll be back here next Saturday at 1 o'clock, taking on either Ridge, Watchung Hills, or Bayonne. And surprisingly, Watchung Hills actually beat Ridge last night. And that pass is complete. Dwight Layler. Just a small window for Cooper Heisey to work with. 2 defenders in the area. And somehow Heisey gets it in there, and Layler makes the grab. First down, Scotch Plains.
That's why Heisey's so good. He can just thread the needle, put it right in that small window that he has, and he finds Layler Simpson. You saw that he was just off the fingertips, not even, and just falls right into Layler's lap for the catch.
So the Raiders in Blue Devil territory. Heisey steps back. Now he's going to scramble to his right, chased by Ortiz, who brings him down right at the line of scrimmage. Good play from Drew Ortiz, showing his athleticism and mobility.
Yeah, Drew Ortiz coming into this game, 58 total tackles on the season, and coming into this game, that leads the team. And right there, people don't think he has too much speed, being a middle linebacker and all because of his size, but right there, able to chase down Heisey, and it brings up a second and about 9.
They go on the ground and pick up about 6 yards. It's Javin Scott. Drew Ortiz, along with the junior Noah Levy, making the stop. 3rd and 3 for the Raiders.
And I wouldn't be surprised for the Raiders to go for it once if they don't get the conversion right now. As twice already, they've shown some trickery, once with the fake punt and before with that PAT, with that formation. And right now, Sean Dwyer checking in for Stevie Barden. Looks like he's getting taped up at the knee. You can see it on the sideline, just covered up right now. Right now, 3rd and 3. Heisey has number 6 in the backfield, Javin Scott, with 4 receivers spread out wide.
High snap. And the ball comes out. Jake Dayon scoops it up. But the runner was ruled down. That was Scott. And Valavera was there for the tackle for a loss, delivering a big hit.
Didn't look like he was touched getting into that backfield as he came from the other side of the line and coming up with a huge tackle, pushing Scotch Plains 3 yards further back, making it a 4th and 6. So we'll bring out the punt team. Smith back there to receive. And his one issue, I'm going to say so far this season, is not calling the fair catch, because a couple times this season he has taken a big hit at returning it.
Max Toll, the punter and kicker and place kicker for the Raiders.
As another formation shift by the Raiders.
And that ball will go inside the 10. That was my mistake. They had Anthony Porter out there, so Westfield's special teams unit definitely smelled the fake. Porter was onto punt when they ran the fake.
Yeah, that's what teams sometimes do. You know, they bring the punter out, but they have someone else who can try to kick the ball away. And same formation as they did with the pass, rolls out right and kicks the ball away. Great punt as it pins Westfield inside their 20. And right now it's Griffin Rooney, Jason Cassett, and Emmett Smith at receiver. Jason Cassett, I believe, checking in for his 2nd time today. And Wandre House back in the backfield for Allegro.
Shapiro will hand it off to Wandre House, the senior, on at running back for this possession. The
clock is winding down with 6:35 to go. left in this first half. In the first quarter, a lot of timeouts, but right now this second quarter is definitely moving a lot faster.
Griffin Rooney in at receiver. On the bottom of your screen, Emmett Smith also there, and that's Jason Cassett on the far sideline. 2nd and 8, Wandre House in the backfield. Shapiro on the slant. Rooney couldn't make the catch, and that was dangerous. It bounced up there, similar to the Jake Dayon interception.
And that ball, it was thrown behind Rooney, so we had to reach back and get it, but it was also a little wobbly. As Shapiro, he's great at throwing the football, puts the spiral on, but right there, not able to do so. And it brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Blue Devils, as Stevie Barden checks back in for Jason Cassett. But if Rooney came out with that, it was dangerous territory, as you said, as Layler was right there to apply the big hit.
3rd and 8 for Westfield. Only leading by 1. Shapiro under pressure, airs it out. Stevie Barden is there, wide open, and has a touchdown. A huge play for the Blue Devils. Shapiro's 8th touchdown, Stevie Barden's 5th, an 80-yard completion, and gives this team great momentum heading into the half.
Shapiro doing what a true quarterback does. He stepped up to the pocket when it was collapsing, airs it out to Stevie Barden down the field, and Barden coming up with another huge touchdown, his 5th on the season, and another great play by this Westfield offense, putting them up 13-6, and if Bowling can convert, 14-6. Just another great play. I was stunned by that play. Shapiro, he's had some tough times getting the ball out quick, but right there able to step up, get it out, and he found Barden way down the field for the touchdown.
And Aiden Bolin is able to make his 2nd extra point this afternoon, so Westfield leads it 14-6 with 5:56 here in the second quarter. Great play, and you described it perfectly, Chris. Incredible job by Hank Shapiro, eluding the defenders and giving himself time. And the more time he sits in that pocket and breaks free, the more time Stevie Barden has, and the harder it is for that secondary to contain the speedy receivers for the Blue Devils.
I was a little concerned at first because he stepped in the pocket. I thought he actually went over the line of scrimmage. But I looked back, I saw where he stepped. It was about a yard or two behind, so he definitely got the play off good and able to find Barden for the touchdown. But Barden was just left wide open past the safety for Scotch Plains and able to get another outstanding touchdown. And at first, in the beginning of the year, we were a little hesitant when DeSarno didn't put Barden or McDaniel in at receiver, as they're one of the top receivers on this team, but it comes out to pay dividends, as if you limit Barden's receiving time and put him in when you absolutely need him, even though the defense might suspect it, still comes up with a big play. You limit how much he plays on offense, and he's ready to go 100% for defense.
Justin Sanders on the return on the kickoff for the Raiders. And Cooper Heisey and the Scotch Plains offense will take over at their own 28 with just under 6 minutes halfway through this second quarter. Still a one-possession game at 14-6. Heisey taking his time and has a receiver for a gain of about 5.
Heisey has done a great job of just finding the open spot in the defense and able to get it to, I believe it was number 5, Anthony Porter.
Jake Dayon and Drew Ortiz on the stop. Another tight window. Heisey making a nice throw.
Yeah, he's definitely been finding his spots, but, you know, if it doesn't come out with a touchdown, it doesn't really mean anything. Sure, it's going to definitely look good in a statue, but right now he's got to get some points on the board.
And that one's incomplete. A bullet from Cooper Heisey intended for Isaiah Stewart, but too low. And they're going to say pass interference on Stevie Barden. Another tough call And it'll give Scotch Plains a first down.
It looked like a bang-bang play, but, yeah, Barden, he's done a great job already this game coming up with the interception right before with that touchdown. But there it looks supposedly getting there too early, and it's going to pick up the first down, as you just said, for the Raiders. With 5:03 to go left here in the first half. And the Raiders right at midfield after the penalty. And Heisey, you know, we were saying he's been hitting the windows where his receivers are open, threading the needle, and just, you know, kind of picking apart this defense at some points. But this Westfield defense has come up in the big moments.
Under pressure, another screen, but this time the ball is too low for Asislo. He had a lot of space in front of him. So missed opportunity right there for Scotch Plains. Make it 2nd and 10.
The screen pass before picked up a lot of yardage, and right there, if that ball was thrown better to Asislo, could have picked up the same amount, if not more. But nevertheless, it brings up a 2nd and 10, 2nd and long for the Raider offense. And again, 4 receivers spread out wide with Asislo in the backfield.
High snap. Asislo gets the carry. But Westfield is right there. Valabera and McGovern on the stop as Freer checks in for Noah Levy. Rory McGovern, Chris, having a tremendous senior year for a kid who barely played as a junior. His freshman year was at St. Peter's.
Did get a ring.
So he's already has 3 rings. And well on his way to number 4. Heisey somehow escapes the sack and completes a pass for the first down. A tremendous job from Cooper Heisey and Asislo on the receiving end of the first down.
And Valabera did get in there early, but Cooper Heisey, you know, just as big, if not bigger, than Jake Valabera, just able to get out of the grasp of Valabera and picking up a big first down. That ball was placed perfectly right at the sideline. And Heisey again just showing what he can do at quarterback and just keeps adding to his resume.
Heisey, a 3-sport athlete, along with Asislo. Heisey, football, basketball, and lacrosse. Taking a shot near the end zone. Intercepted by Adam McDaniel. And he'll take a knee for the touchback. Overthrown by Heisey, and McDaniel is right there for the pick. But there is a flag down at the 15. And it's going to be on Westfield, so the interception will not count.
Didn't look like there was too much contact, but you maybe, you know, probably just a grab of the arm, just a tug of the jersey. And another penalty on this Westfield defense. And if the play did stand, McDaniel would have had the 4th turnover in the first half for the Blue Devils.
.408 here in the second quarter. First down after the penalty for Scotch Plains.
And again, 4 receivers spread out wide with Asislo in the backfield.
Quick completion out to Anthony Porter. Stevie Barden delivering a big hit to Porter.
Porter on the reception. Tackled there by Barden, gain of 4 on the play.
So 4 minutes to go as Porter was pushed out of bounds, so clock will stop. Again, 4 receivers spread out wide.
Heisey's only been sacked once this afternoon. He's been hit twice. Sacked by Valabera and then hit by San Giacomo.
Ooh.
And there's a big hit on Sanders.
Wow. Drew Ortiz with a huge hit on Sanders, and you could hear the reaction from this Westfield sideline. Biggest hit of the day, if not the year, for this Westfield defense. Out of nowhere, just put Porter flat on his back. So 3rd and short for the Scotch Plains offense. And again, just deep in Westfield territory. If they don't convert, most likely we'll go for it as clock winding down at 3:35.
Sislo has a Heisey has a receiver on the slant, but it is incomplete, intended for Anthony Porter, who couldn't make the catch as he was falling to the ground.
Yeah, Dayan just threw him to the ground, and just the juggle really played a huge part in that drop. And it's going to be a timeout, Scotch Plains-Fanwood. And with 3:30 to go, 4th and 1 for this Scotch Plains offense. This Westfield team could stop them right here. Can go into the half with a 1 touchdown lead, but they want to march down. A lot of time to do that. Can definitely do so. Last drive, we saw Hank Shapiro air it out to Stevie Barden, and they could do the exact same thing as Barden was just left untouched over the middle.
Coach DeSarno for the Blue Devils in his 12th season, Chris. And after these 32 straight wins, his record is now 88-36. That's his record at Westfield, not at his previous schools. So next year, if all goes well, could break the 100-win mark just at Westfield. And as we mentioned earlier, last game of the year for Scotch Plains. For the regular season, they'll have a consolation game. And that's, for the past 2 years, that's how it's been. They've lost every single game, and then their only win coming the last game of the year in that consolation game. And a penalty marker, it's going to be encroachment on the Blue Devil defense.
It's going to be number 8, Jake Valabert. So that little step over the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, putting Scotch Plains right at the 10-yard line. So it's going to be a 1st and goal for this Raider offense. But the past couple times, Westfield's been able to get that turnover or that or the big stop. We'll see if they can do it right here. Just making sure it's not going to be a even closer game at halftime. As Westfield this season has only let up a maximum of 7 points in a game. First 4 weeks were 7, last 3 were 6.
Heisey breaks loose and scrambles up the middle.
3:13 to go, clock still rolling, and that picks up about 3. Valabert in there at first, but not able to bring down Heisey. As everyone's spread out wide, no one in the backfield except Heisey. As 3 at the top of your screen, 2 at the bottom.
Layler has 6 receiving touchdowns on the year. Sanders with 5. Heisey taking his time and has a touchdown. It's Isaiah Stewart making the catch, and the Raiders pull themselves within 2 late in quarter number 2. And we'll see if they're going to decide to go for 2 or take the extra point. They bring on the offense. Heisey is out there. Interesting, very interesting, and unique formation. A timeout is going to be taken by head coach Jim DeSarno. Westfield leads at 14-12. 2-point conversion coming up when we return on BDTV. So after the timeout taken by Westfield, we're going to see what Scotch Plains decides to do. They trail it 14-12 with 2:40 to go in the second quarter. Cooper Heisey just threw his second touchdown, this time to Isaiah Stewart, and no trickery here. Just their normal widespread formation. Cooper Heisey under center on the play action. And it is complete. Tie ball game. And that was Anthony Porter making the catch.
Yeah, the jet sweep across the middle for the fake, that really just threw everyone to the left side of the end zone, and Porter just able to sneak out to the right, coming up with the catch. But 2:33 to go left in this half, and this Westfield offense If Smith or Barden get a bigger turn like Smith did the first time, put Westfield in great field position and just get the ball down the field, they should be able to get the lead before the half. And they will get the ball to start the second half as well.
So I think everyone here is just stunned, Chris. Scotch Plains 0-8 on the year. They put up points, as we mentioned, but nothing's really been close. 82-46, 64-24 lost to Rawway, 49-27 lost to North Hunterdon. The only game that they've had that's been close is against a Group 1 school in overtime. They lost by 1 to Cranford. And that was Shea Elliott, the senior other captain, one of 5 captains. Shea Elliott going to be playing Division III college football next fall at some school, yet to make a decision, just like most of these guys yet to make their decision. A nice return for Elliott.
The ball almost had a chance of going out of bounds. I'm not sure if he waited a little bit longer, he could have gotten it. But Barden, Smith, and Bruni all at the top of your screen at wide receiver with House in the backfield and Freer at tight end at the bottom of the line of scrimmage on your screen. All in the game right now. And if they can just get another huge play right here, get the touchdown, go in the half with the momentum, and start with the ball as well.
2.5 minutes for this Westfield offense to regain the lead. There's the screen pass to Wandre House, picks up about 3 yards. Allegro just got that 1 carry at the end of the first quarter, then had another one where he picked up a first down for about 12 yards. That's been it for the sophomore. House hasn't picked up too many yards this afternoon, but he's been in there more than Allegro. Shapiro finding Stevie Barden, but he couldn't make the catch. Had to jump up in the air.
Yeah, it's a little high. If that was a little bit lower, probably a better chance of catching it, and that would have put Westfield into Scotch Plain territory. Quick timeout, get the play going. Or even if they wanted to, a no huddle, but with 1:56 to go, probably would have called a timeout. But nevertheless, third and appears to be 6 or 5.5, 6 yards, and same lineup out there.
Third down, Shapiro has Colin Freer. Freer wrestles with Dwight Layler, comes up with the catch and a first down to move the chains as Westfield has to hurry it up here. Ball at the 45, Shapiro. There's Griffin Rooney making the catch, tiptoeing down the sideline. Down at about the 47, the Scotch Plains 47.
Yeah, smart
and
play.
Makes it 2nd and 2.
Smart play call there. Just a quick little out route to get Rooney the ball. Picks up a couple yardage after the catch as well. Gets him into Scotch Plain territory, gets him out of bounds, stop the clock at 1:41, and now our receivers on the other side of the field.
Yeah, no receivers to Shapiro's right, 3 to his left. Has Barden a first down for the Blue Devils. So a nice drive right here. Shapiro has his momentum. He's got Stevie Barden, Griffin Rooney, Colin Freer. Nice, slow, methodical drive for this offense. Shapiro taking his time, taking a shot. Barden almost made an incredible catch, but Westfield will get the benefit thanks to the defensive pass interference call. And that's a good call, Chris. Going both ways. But excuse me, they're going to say it's offensive pass interference. And that is a terrible call. Barden was in the end zone. And this Westfield crowd speaks for itself.
His back was turned to the play. He was all over Barden. Just a terrible call as Jason Cassett checks in, and that took a huge chunk out of this Westfield's drive. As 1:25 to go, they're going to be pushed back 15 yards. But a horrible call all the way around.
And just as I was about to say, call going both ways because there's been some defensive pass interferences we've disagreed with. It would make up for it if they called that one, but instead they get it on Barden. Barden never even touched, never made initiated contact with the defender. The defender initiated the contact. A poor call. It backs up Westfield, and it makes this drive a lot harder with just 1:25 to go. 15. It backs him up 15 yards.
And Barden now
So
out
they're
of
at
the
their
game.
Own 46.
Barden out of the game, brings Cassett back in. So timeout called.
And with 1:25, all tied up between the 7-0 Westfield Blue Devils and the 0-8 SPF Raiders. We'll be right back on BDTV. So 1st and 25 after the interesting offensive pass interference call and a timeout taken by the Raiders. So the second quarter really dragging on here in Westfield, New Jersey at Gary Kaler Stadium. The Blue Devils ranked 11th in the state on a 32-game win streak, 7-0 on the 2017 season, taking on their arch rival Scotch Plains-Fanwood, who's 0-8, and we're all tied at 14. Wandre House able to pick up a few of those yards back, but still second and about 18.
And now the Westfield offense got to really pick up the pace as 1:10 left to go here in this first half. And no huddle offense still at large here for this Blue Devil offense.
And that pass is incomplete, intended for the sophomore tight end, Colin Freer. So 3rd and long.
3rd and 25.
With 59 seconds.
Barden still not in the game, surprising.
2 timeouts remaining for the Blue Devils, but it's not going to matter if they can't pick up a first down.
Excuse me, Barden's actually on the training table, so probably after that last play call, a little banged up.
Shapiro looking for Emmett Smith.
Zero for Smith.
And Smith can't get there. Incomplete.
4th down and 25.
And Kessler will come on, and Westfield forced a punt. Disappointing drive right there because they had the momentum. Completed a string of about 3 passes in a row. Freer getting involved, Griffin Rooney, Stevie Barden. And they take a shot deep, and they just get unlucky with a bad call. And it ends this drive, basically, for the offense. Slow snap. Kessler gets the punt away. And it's a good one. And it'll be downed at the 1.
Beautiful punt.
Kessler punts down to the 1 yard
And who knows, Westfield might get that safety. Applying a lot of pressure already today, but a lot of field to work with, so high as he has the time and this arm strength and the receivers to throw the ball down the field. So a knee is not an option, as if he does, it's a safety. And now the Westfield D-line's got to win the line of scrimmage, apply the pressure, and the linebackers and secondary have got to make sure everything is contained and nothing gets outside them.
And Chris, credit this Scotch Plains team. They could have came out this afternoon and called it quits, but after an 0-8 season, these seniors have experienced nothing but losing in their careers. They're able to get a yard or so up the middle there. Cooper Heisey on the keeper.
Timeout.
But Westfield will take a timeout. They have 2 remaining. After that, just 1. Trying to play the safety game, see if they could get it. And we'll step aside late in this second quarter. So just 39 seconds remaining. 2nd and 9 for Scotch Plains. They're backed up. And they go up the middle again on the quarterback sneak. And again, about a 1-yard gain. Westfield will call another timeout. This time we'll stay with you. It's 3rd down. So If Scotch Plains gets a run here, it's just going to end the first half. Westfield still is trying to get the safety, but they're not going to be able to get it if Heisey just goes up the middle on the sneak, Chris.
Yeah, also, he has enough room now to just go right on the knee. But a little surprising, as after the first play, just to let it run out, because, just not too much opportunity to get the safety as they've just been running it right up the middle the whole time. But who knows, a fumble could happen. Westfield recovers. But still, it's a 40-second play clock. And right after that, with 34 seconds to go, the clock's going to run up before that. So if they don't get the safety here, everyone's just going to go to the locker room.
Heisey gets up, and he'll do the same thing. And that will be the last play of this half. The Scotch Plains-Fanwood Raiders not afraid of their rival. After an 0-8 start to the season, they're tied with the number 11 team in the state as we go to the half. 14 all. Cooper Heisey with a tremendous first half, Chris. Throwing for well over 100 yards, 2 TDs. Hank Shapiro found Stevie Barden. Jake Val getting a touchdown. And Jake Dayon coming up with a big interception after the deflection, the highlights of this first half.
And right now, Stevie Barden, absolutely fantastic receiver right now, both ways, has a pick to his name too. Hank Shapiro, he's just got to get his throwing down. He's overthrown Smith twice, underthrown him once. He just got to hit him, as all three of them would have come up huge. But Shapiro has been hitting his targets, a couple to Rooney and a couple to Barden, as we just said. And this defense just playing great. 3 turnovers already, but also Westfield just getting robbed by some terrible calls out there by the referees. Just got to bounce back from that, getting the ball to start off the second half, and we just got to hope they punch it into the end zone.
14 all between the Blue Devils and the Raiders. The third quarter coming up when we return on BD TV. So welcome back, everybody, to Gary Kaler Stadium as we are underway for the third quarter of football. A short kickoff. Drew Ortiz bobbles it. Westfield recovers. And they'll start off on their own 27.
Not how Westfield wanted to start off this second half after a very shaky first half. But right now, there were a lot of bad calls going against Westfield. They got to settle down, remain poised, and just make sure that nothing bad happens or the penalties racking up on their side. Shapiro's got to start hitting his targets. Overthrew Smith twice, underthrew him once in the first half. But right now, they just got to get stuff going. Tim Allegro in there in the backfield to start off this second half. And hopefully he can bring that power back to this running game that we haven't seen too much today.
Allegro gets the football and has about a yard before he's wrapped up.
Second and 8.
If you're just joining us, Westfield is 7-0 on the year, ranked 11th in the state. Scotch Plains is 0-8 on the year. Westfield's won the past 4 matchups each of the last 4 years, and they've won 8 of the last 9 against their rival. Allegro to the left has the first down. Down at the 43. Big run for Tim Allegro.
Biggest run of the day for Westfield. Picks up the first down for the Blue Devils. Clock rolling now, and Westfield's got to make sure that they use that as the building ground to get this big play, a big drive going.
Gain of 16 for Allegro on that run. He gets it again. This time only about 2 or 3. Barham getting in a scuffle right there.
So picks up about 2.
With Bobby Mount, the senior defensive end for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's Westfield versus Scotch Plains. There's definitely going to be some bad blood between the two towns. Probably a few, just a lot of mouthing off between each team.
Shapiro dropping back, intended for Barden, but Barden fell as that ball was coming right at him.
Yeah, but that's a play you want to come up with. Brings up a 3rd and 8 here for the Blue Devils, and right now they just got to get going. Hank's got to start hitting his receivers because right now there's just not too much energy and excitement on the sideline that we usually see from these Blue Devils.
Third and 8 for the Blue Devils. Griffin Rooney on the near side. Emmett Smith in the slot. Shapiro rolling to his right, under pressure, and he finds Rooney for the first down and more. There goes Griffin Rooney inside the 25 for a big gain. A great play right there, a nice job by Griffin Rooney getting open.
Great play by Rooney, but great play by Shapiro to elude the pressure, able to use the swim move tactic to get away from the defender, throws it right to Rooney wide open, picks up the first down, and Rooney off to the races, picks up a gain of 30. A huge momentum shift for Westfield as a Raider seems to be hurt on the field, but Mike, that was just a great play overall. As Smith, Barden, and Rooney still out there at receiver, and Allegro in the backfield, with Freer acting as that tight end fullback position as well.
Stevie Barden on the far side. Allegro gets a carry to the left, wrapped up by Dwight Layler right at the first down marker.
Another Westfield first down.
Picks up the first. Allegro again getting it done. And right now, 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Westfield, a great opportunity to punch it. If they can do that, they can set the tone for this second half.
Shotgun for Shapiro. Allegro in the backfield gets, and pass is complete. Touchdown Westfield. Emmett Smith with his first touchdown of the year.
A beautiful pass from Shapiro, an even better catch by Emmett Smith. The touchdown that I've been waiting for, the touchdown that a lot of people have been waiting for. A great play from Smith. Picks up his first varsity touchdown. And boy, was that a great catch. Just leaping over the defender, bringing it down, and that was a highlight reel catch.
Bowling on for the extra point, and he got it. 21-14. Westfield regains the lead. Scotch Plains was the first to get on the scoreboard this afternoon on their opening possession after their fake punt. They got in the end zone, then extra point was blocked. Westfield then scored 2 touchdowns back-to-back to make it 14-6, and then we saw a touchdown and a 2-point conversion from the Raiders just at the end of the first half. And on the first possession, Westfield marches down the field, and Hank Shapiro, off the play action, finds the junior Emmett Smith for his first career touchdown for Emmett Smith.
It was a great catch. And, the kid can do it all. Returns kicks, plays receiver. Aiden Boland's kick holder. The kid can do it all. And right now lined up on special teams to get down there and hopefully pin Scotch Plains deep in their own territory. But that's what Westfield had to do. They had to come out strong, and that's exactly what they did, marching the ball down the field. Allegro with a couple huge plays, and right there with Smith delivering the final blow.
Kessler sends it away. Return near the 23, out to about the 37. Still on his feet was Charlie Levine, only a sophomore. And some penalties after the whistle. They should be against Scotch Plains.
It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to be on Adam McDaniel. So again, another costly penalty by the Blue Devils. And that's his first one of the game. And I'm not sure how it works, but I know in college, 2 unsportsmanlikes, you get tossed. And it could be the same for high school. But there's been a lot of jawing back and forth between these two squads. And Westfield's been coming up with the penalties, with the retaliation. And it's going to move the ball up another 15. So Heisey has the ball in Westfield territory to start off this drive.
Yeah, give credit to Levine. Stayed on his feet, had a great return. And Stevie Barden with the deflection. Nice job by Barden. McDaniel also in there for the coverage. Then after the 15-yard penalty, as you said, Chris, Scotch Plains starting off in Westfield territory. So great field position for the 3-year starter, senior captain Cooper Heisey. Over 4,000 yards in his career.
And today it's definitely going to be over 5.
And he's about to surpass 5,000, an incredible accomplishment. And that pass is overthrown, intended for Anthony Porter.
So third and
Porter had a really nice first half, Chris.
he did, yeah. He came up
Had the first touchdown and that fake punt.
the fake punt too, yeah. And I believe it was also him who got the 2-point conversion as well that tied up the game to end the first half. But right there, Heisey overthrows him with Shea Elliott in the vicinity on the coverage. And right now it's 3rd and long for the Raiders. If Westfield can stop them, they've had a hard time doing that today. You know, a couple turnovers, but still Heisey's been picking apart this defense as many ways as he can. But still 3rd and long, Westfield's got to contain these receivers.
Heisey drops back, finds Dwight Layler.
Right at the first down marker. It looks like they're going to give him the first, but the spot, it looked like where he was tackled is not where it should be.
Ball's at the 39, spotted at the 39.
Chain gang's going to have to come out.
And they're going to bring out the chains, make a long jog over there.
It's 59 yards, not too long. Yeah, but still, that was a pretty generous spot.
Our view is getting blocked by the Westfield sideline.
As close as it can get, and not sure if he got it. They're going to move it more towards the middle of the field, but just very hard to tell right now.
It's going to
Definitely did not
be
get the first.
short. So 4th down for the Raiders. They will go for it. Keep the offense out there. Trailing by 7 here with 8:58 in quarter number 3.
And you got a Sislo in the backfield, and he's just been lowering his shoulder and running right up the gut all day. Wouldn't be surprised if he went up there, but they have Elliott and Ortiz filling the box right now.
Sislo with the carry up the middle, has the first down and more down at the 30. And Chris, we thought we would see Westfield. They were in that locker room for a long time at the half. Once in a while it happens, a rivalry game. It's close, but we thought in the second half we would see him break free, turn it into a blowout. But the offense for the Raiders marching down the field. Open receiver. Made the catch. Was he in bounds? Yes, he was. Isaiah Stewart on the receiving end. A lollipop of a pass from Cooper Heisey, but it gets the job done, and 1st and goal.
Yeah, I forget. It was number 2, Isaiah Stewart, excuse me, yeah, wide open, just down the field, and Heisey able to locate him. Miscommunication by this Westfield secondary.
Sislo with the ball. Picks up about 2 yards and brought down by about 5 different Blue Devils. Elliott, San Giacomo, Levy, McGovern, and Valabera on the stop for Westfield.
It's just that running up right up the middle, it's going to be difficult. You have Valabera and McGovern out there, just a couple of the biggest guys on this team, and along with Jose and Giacomo too, that defensive line. When it's run right up the gut, it's going to be a tough time to get by them. And 4 receivers spread out wide with the Sislo still in the backfield.
2nd and goal from the 4. Heisey takes his time, and he'll throw it away to bring up 3rd and goal. And as we've seen multiple times in this game, Chris, it is 4 down territory. That's the mindset from this Scotch Plains coaching staff.
Yeah, they just want to get what they can. They know that they're just going to try to air it out as much as they can.
They have nothing to lose, and they're trying to beat their rival, and they're trying to break this streak. And what a story that would be. An 0-8 SPF
Probably
team.
the biggest underdog of the year. And this reminds me of
the mindset going into this week. Westfield had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. The mindset was going to be a blowout, and the ball comes out, and Westfield has the football. Sislo had about a 3-yard gain, extended the football out to try to cross the pylon, and it came out. And Westfield was right there.
That'll be a touchback, come out to the 20-yard line.
Will Kessler came out with the football.
just a great play by the defense of Sislo. Not a smart move reaching that ball out. It was completely naked in the open. And Westfield just able to knock it out, and Kessler coming up with the recovery. 4th turnover of the day for the Raiders. 4th turnover by the Westfield defense to get another great play.
House gets the carry for about 5 yards up the middle. That's a tough play, though, from a Sislo, because you're taught to always extend the football, but he wasn't down. And hadn't crossed the goal line, according to the official. And ball gets knocked out. So that's a huge play from the Westfield defense.
That's not a smart play either. So, you know, Westfield's trying to stop it any way they can. Just stick that ball. You got to put 2 on it at least.
Ball came out, but Shapiro able to get it out and complete a pass to the senior fullback, Jake Obsgarden.
Obsgarden's first reception of the year. Hasn't been utilized too much in the beginning of the year as Westfield ran with that 2 tight end set, but has been playing a lot lately at fullback and picks up his first reception. And it picks up about 4, so it's going to make it 3rd and inches right now as Barden, Smith, and Bruni are out there. And, Mike, it's also good that Smith caught that touchdown pass. It gives him a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum, and it just allows Shapiro knowing that, all right, I got this guy too to throw to. And Bruni's still looking for his first touchdown of the season, but he did have that big catch earlier in this game.
6.5 to go in the third quarter. House has the first down, spinning his way to the 39. And a penalty marker after the whistle. Ball popped out at the end there for House, but he was down.
And it was a beautiful spin move by House to get the extra yardage. And it's going to be on sportsmanlike conduct on number 72 of the Raiders.
That's Bobby Mount, the senior, who's in the altercation earlier with Jordan Barham.
So that's going to add 15 more yards at the end of the play. And right now, Blue Devils are marching. And, Mike, that fumble definitely switched momentum. That was probably the biggest momentum shift of the game, as it looked like the Raiders were going to tie it up, but Westfield gets the ball back, and now they are marching down the field. Same set out there as the previous play.
1st and 10 A big hit by Bobby Mount. After his unsportsmanlike conduct, he makes up for it, delivering a crushing blow in the backfield to Tim Allegro.
Yeah, big hit right there by Mount. Definitely made up for that previous play. Not completely, but it does get confidence and momentum back from the defense. Any big hit does that. And Westfield still going with the same squad out there. 3 receivers, Barden, Rooney, and Smith, with Freer at tight end and Allegro in the backfield. As all the receivers, except for Freer at tight end, are at the top of your screen. But again, still try to run the ball. They've been doing it a lot, but everyone's in the box right now, and no one's playing back.
Shapiro looking for Stevie Barden. And it gets juggled, almost intercepted, but Barden able to keep it away from the defender. Dangerous play right there.
A very smart play, though, because Barden, tipped it at first, but he kept his head up. He wasn't, just looking around hysterically. He knew where it was, able to tip it back, almost caught it, making it his second acrobatic catch of the year, first coming up against Elizabeth at High Point Solutions Stadium against at Rutgers. But right there, 3rd and long, and now Westfield needs this first down.
3rd and 13, 5.5 under pressure, screen pass. Allegro makes the catch, running down the sideline, and has a big Westfield first down.
All the Raiders are coming in on the offensive line. Shapiro just dumps it over him right to Allegro, picks up the first down. Another big play by Allegro. And Westfield just keeps on rolling.
Five minutes remaining in the third quarter. Ball at the 35. House in the backfield. They give it to him on the screen and picks up about 6. So 2nd and 4 coming up.
They're able to turn the corner, use that burst of speed to pick up 6. And that's what's good about this Westfield running game, because you have Allegro and House, who are both very good. Allegro, more of that power backs, House more of that speed. But once Allegro came out, House stepped up, came in, picked up a good amount of yardage, and Westfield's still rolling down this field.
House gets the carry now. Stiff arm on the near sideline, stays in bounds, and they'll rule him out around the 13, it looks like.
Gain of 8 on the play, good enough for a Westfield first down. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Great pickup again by House. And Westfield, if they make this 2-touchdown lead with 4:23 to go here in the third quarter, it can definitely set the tone for the rest of this game.
Ball's at the 16. Shapiro looking for Barden.
Ooh, that would have been a great play.
Incomplete. And there is a flag. Ref threw that one as hard and far as he could.
That was a great tunnel stream play. You had Barden coming around, and if he caught it, he definitely had the touchdown as no one else was around him. And that's why the tunnel screen is just very effective, because you have that. It's not a bubble screen as you go behind, but it's where you go in front, and you just go right up the middle. And I'm not sure what the penalty is on. It's probably going to be, it is a holding penalty on Westfield, as he has to more shadow block instead of actually lock on with the defender. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty. 15. Actually, I'm not sure what the penalty is on. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Shapiro fakes a throw, and House has nowhere to go. Again, it's Bobby Mount making the stop for SPF, along with the Sislo.
Yeah, and 4 minutes to go here. And it's going to be a second and very long now for the Blue Devils, as you have Rooney and Smith and Barden out there at receiver, with House in the backfield and Freer at tight end, as Smith and Barden are at the top of your screen with Rooney at your bottom.
2nd and 27. Barden makes the catch and has a touchdown. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 6th of the year. A great throw from the sophomore quarterback, Hank Shapiro. His 10th TD of the season.
It's looking almost too easy out there right now as Barden just runs the route. Shapiro puts it where it has to be, and Barden catches his 2nd one of the game, as you just said. And another big touchdown, and if Bowling converts, puts him up by 14. And what a play by Barden, just able to run right across the field. Lucky he was going to be tackled at first as it was thrown right in the middle, but able just to elude the pressure and get the touchdown. 28-14 with 3:31 to go. And Blue Devils about to kick it away down the field, but Mike, that play again, seen it time and time again. Barden either a fade route to the end zone or a post over the middle. Able to pick up huge yardage, does it again right there. And this Westfield receiving core, we were a little shaky at first because of Hank Shapiro, not experienced, not able to throw it, but now just looks so confident, relaxed in the pocket, able to fire wherever he wants, whenever he wants. And we've been saying how they have to get the passing game going. They've been throwing the ball a lot this game.
Yeah, definitely one of the best performances we've seen from Hank Shapiro in a varsity uniform. And Chris, just a game of inches. Scotch Plains just a few minutes ago so close to tying this game at the 1-yard line. They extend the football, it gets knocked out, and all of a sudden Westfield goes back down the field the other way, up by 14, in control.
The ball's kicked down the field to Sanders as he is wrapped up around the 30-yard line. As you could see, Dwyer holding back McDaniel as this game, it's been a lot of chippy, a lot of jawing, and McDaniel already won on sportsmanlike penalty, doesn't want to get another one.
So 28-14, Westfield in control. 3:25 to go.
Heisey drops back, throws. Great pass deflection right there by Shea Elliott, but 2 flags on the play. And this referee corps right now, Mike, is probably the worst we've seen all season. Elliott was right there, just blocked it away, and 2 flags on the play. Just these referees, before with Barden saying it was a push-off to try to catch that ball, wasn't. Again before with McDaniel getting the interception, saying it was a penalty on Barden, wasn't. It's just the referees haven't been that good today.
So ball is at the 40. Man in motion, Asislo gets the football. Drew Ortiz is there for the stop,
Ball carried up the middle, met by Ortiz.
along with Kessler and Elliott.
So Shea Elliott, making the tackle right there. You can definitely frustrated out there. As you can tell, that was clearly not a penalty. Just blocking that ball away, and the Blue Devils, it just look like they're being cheated out there a little bit. As Heisey drops back, throws, and caught over the middle of the field by number 6, Javin Scott.
10-yard gain on the play and a first down for the Raiders.
First down for Scotch Plains. Still trailing by 2 scores, trying to march down the field. They were able to last time, but couldn't punch it in after the fumble, as Asislo was extending the ball, trying to cross the pylon. McDaniel and Dayon at the safeties. They keep it on the ground with Scott, but not much room to go. Ortiz and Sangiacomo are there.
And right now, no gain on the play, so it's going to be a 2nd and 10 right at the 50 for the Raiders.
.143 to go. 2nd and 10. For Scotch Plains. Now McDaniel, the lone safety back there. Already been called for 1 unsportsmanlike conduct. Heisey, pass is complete to Isaiah Stewart, but he is quickly brought down and he actually loses a yard or two. Drew Ortiz making another stop. The senior linebacker having a great season and having a big game. Another flag. This time it's
Penalty.
holding on the SPF O-line.
And right there, you can definitely hear the cheer from this Westfield fan base. Finally getting the call going their way, and it's going to push the Raiders back 10 yards, making it 2nd and 20.
2nd and 20 from the 40-yard line.
And Mike, we thought that a lot of backups were going to be in here today, but clearly not the case. Still going strong. The starters out there with 1 minute to go here in the third quarter, but who knows? Westfield pulls away, gets that third touchdown. We'll probably see some of them out there. But this is a game many thought that Westfield was going to run away with.
Heisey escapes the scramble, and there will be holding on SPF. A late, very late penalty marker is thrown.
Yeah, you could hear the calls up there. It's definitely a holding penalty there, and it will push them back another 10 yards. So it's going to be a 2nd and 30 right now for the Raiders. And this Westfield team, they just got to play it. You know, I know it's extra room out there, but they just got to keep playing the way that they've been playing, just the containment defense. With 53 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
29, yeah.
At their own 29-yard line, got to get it to the Westfield 40 to pick up the first down.
2nd and 31. A screen pass is not going to do anything. Completed to Javin Scott.
That's going to pick up a couple, but still 3rd and very, very long for the Raiders.
From the 30.
San Giacomo will come in for Jordan Barham. 3rd and 30 for Scotch Plains. This drive just killed by offensive holding penalties.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back, and that really just put a blow on this Raider offense. And 3rd and plenty to go.
4 receivers. Heisey under pressure, and he is sacked. Colin Freer, the sophomore, coming up with a big stop, and he has a few words to say to Heisey after he brings him to the ground.
Freer made his first start at defensive end against Watchung Hills a few weeks ago, and right there coming up with a huge sack to get Heisey in the backfield, and as you said, was looking down at him, and Freer coming up with a huge stop. And it's going to be the end of the third quarter.
28-14, Westfield leads it over Scotch Plains. Fourth quarter coming right up on BDTV.
So back here, beginning of the fourth quarter, the Raiders were forced to punt after the sack from Colin Freer. Gets it away and towards the sideline. And it'll be out of bounds at around the Westfield 45.
44-yard line. Westfield will take over there.
So this offense comes on the field with nice field position and a 14-point lead. In good shape to extend this win streak to 33 consecutive games and improve to 8-0 on the year, but it was not easy to get to this position, Chris.
Absolutely wasn't. Had to go through a lot of tough teams to get here, and right now, a lot of plays to get here, and right now Westfield just cruise another touchdown. they can just seal this game up.
Allegro with the carry, nowhere to go.
Tripped up by number 40, Cassidy. Gain of 1 on the play.
It's going to be a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Blue Devils.
Three receivers set. Allegro in the backfield. Cassett on the near side. Shovel pass to Tommy Norris. Picks up about 3.
Yeah, shuffle pass.
First time we've seen the junior Tommy Norris this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been a lot of Colin Freer today, but the shovel pass, we've seen that a lot in the past couple weeks. First time today, and Norris looked like he just got right behind Barham and just didn't know where to go and just fell right to the ground. And right now, a 3rd and 4.5 for the Blue Devils.
Shapiro rolling to his right and is going to get sacked. Nick Palazzolo, the linebacker, has come up time and time again, and he's able to bring down Hank Shapiro and keep Scotch Plains' slim hopes alive right now.
Yeah, right there. Will Kessler, he's got to get it down the field as far as he can and hope that the special teams unit can get down there. Adam McDaniel's gotten down there pretty quick already today, and there was that one play before the first half ended, pinned it at the 1, but I don't think Kessler has the leg to get it down there. With a booming kick.
Great kick, and a fair catch is taken near the 18 by Justin Sanders, the senior, with 10 minutes to play in this football game.
So, not at the 1, but still a great kick by Kessler. And that's going to pin the Raiders deep right at the 20.
Folks, don't forget to stick around after the conclusion of the game for a special post-game performance by the Marching Blue Devils, who will perform their full competitive show for the last time this year.
Cooper Heisey got banged up on that last hit from Colin Freer, still out there. Mention his incredible statistics over his 3-year career with now about 5,000 yards and 41 touchdowns, but a 2-22 record, and he would love to finish out his career with a win over his rival Westfield and break the streak. Let's see what he could do here. He needs 2 touchdowns, Chris, and he's got 10 minutes to lead his offense out there.
With the secondary for Westwood right now, it looks like, they know that what they do can easily get them a penalty, so they're playing it safe. McDaniel coming up with a huge deflection there. As Heisey drops back in the pocket, under pressure, and is taken down by Valabera.
Nowhere to go for Heisey. The Blue Devils bringing the blitz. Valabera gets the sack. San Giacomo and Freer bringing some pressure.
That's going to drop the Raiders even deeper in their own territory, making it a 3rd and looks like 18, excuse me. And clock ticking away, 9:26 to go here in this 4th quarter.
3rd and 18. SPF needs to get it to the 30-yard line to keep this drive alive. Heisey taking a shot for Dwight Layler, but it's incomplete. Almost picked off after it bounced in the air.
Kessler and McDaniel.
And McDaniel was right there for that titch. If he picked that off to the races, potentially getting a pick 6. But still, defense does its job. Now Smith back to return at around his own 45-yard line. And 1 touchdown here today, but, he hasn't a name for himself for return the football, as we said earlier. And if he can break one free, just keep adding to his resume.
Max Toll, the senior, on to punt in his own end zone. Almost blocked. Short punt. And Westfield, Emmett Smith, will let it roll. And Westfield will take over at Scotch Plains' 45-yard line. So Shapiro and this offense try to add on to their 14-point lead. Under 9 to play in the final quarter here at Gary Kaler Stadium. The first of 4 home games this month for the Blue Devils, as long as they take care of business next week to get their second round playoff game the week after, and then the Thanksgiving game against the Plainfield Cardinals. And then as long as everything goes well, the first week of December, the state title at MetLife Stadium against either going to be Bridgewater Raritan or possibly Piscataway.
Shapiro drops back in the pocket, throws right sideline, has Griffin Rooney with a catch up and gets the first down. Great second effort there by the sophomore to pick up the first down.
Shapiro to Rooney. Gain of 11 on the play, and a Westfield first down.
Please, no, I actually have to go.
I can't do it. It's gotta be you. I couldn't do it, bro. I'm a PA guy.
First down for the Blue Devils. Wandre House gets the carry. Has himself a few yards there.
Middle. Gain of 1 on the play.
Stay,
9.
stay Second and 9 after the carry for Wandre House. 2 receivers set to Shapiro's left. It's Rooney and Smith. Shapiro keeps it. And that is obvious pass interference intended for Colin Freer.
Yeah. Layler was all over Freer right there. Probably, the most definite penalty of the game. That's going to move the ball up 15 yards with Westfield still marching right down the field right now. Get the next touchdown. Game is over with a 3-touchdown lead, making either 34 or 35, 36 if they want to go for 2, who knows. But still, just that 3-score lead is really going to put them in the driver's seat for this game. They can just cruise right on home.
So after the penalty, the ball will be spotted at the 24-yard line. It'll be a fresh set of downs for the Blue Devils. Trying to add on to this 14-point lead. House gets the carry to the right, nowhere to go. He's going to lose a yard or 2. And if you're just joining us, it has not been a blowout. It is Scotch Plains has given everything they had. Cooper Heisey with a tremendous effort this afternoon with 2 touchdowns,
Second down and 12.
well over 200 yards, and tied at the half 14-14. SPF gave it everything they had.
Yeah, this Westfield defense really shut them down. Getting another turnover.
Shapiro, open receiver, and Emmett Smith cannot make the diving catch. Incomplete. Unlucky right there. Had the open Emmett Smith.
Yeah, another overthrown ball. If Smith came down with that, that could have been a fantastic catch. Can't bring it down. Brings up a 3rd and 11 right now for the Blue Devils.
Third and 12. Shapiro takes his time to lay draw to House, and he'll lose a couple more to make it 4th and 14. Clock still ticking. Clock still ticking.
4th and 15.
No timeout taken by the Raiders. Interesting decision. And the Westfield, Coach Usarno says he'll go for it. So here we go, 4th and 15. Shapiro under pressure. Has a wide open Griffin Rooney for the touchdown. The sophomore with his first career touchdown. And Westfield takes the lead to 20 at 34-14. A great job by Hank Shapiro escaping pressure yet again and finding the open receiver. Shapiro's fourth touchdown this afternoon, putting him at 11 on the season. And the field goal unit comes on. Aiden Bolin trying to make it a perfect 5 of 5 for extra points. And he's able to do it. 35-14, Westfield leads it. And we'll step aside on BDTV. So Will Kessler out there again. Westfield was not an easy first half. They trailed to start out the game. And a nice return here for Scotch Plains. Out near the 30-yard line.
There's a flag on the play.
Most of the Blue Devil starters still on the field as we wait this penalty call. A 15-yard personal foul penalty on the Raiders. That's just going to negate the return. Thank you. On their own 14, Cooper Heisey still in there in his second to last high school career game and is sacked again. This time by Valabera. I believe his third sack and his 10th of the year for the captain.
You're on the 13-yard line. No, I'm sorry, 8-yard line, rather. Eight
Under 5 to play here in Westfield. 21-point lead for the 11th ranked Blue Devils. Heisey throwing. This time, pass is complete. First time in a while, Dwight Layler, the senior, making the catch. So many of these seniors for Scotch Plains haven't experienced many victories, but have had great statistical careers, including the connection between Heisey and Layler. Layler with multiple kick return touchdowns in his career. And came into today with 6 receiving touchdowns. 1st and 10, and that one's incomplete.
Fourth down and 5.
Excuse me, that was 3rd down, so it brings up a 4th and 6 for the Raiders as Sanji Como marches off the field with 4 minutes to go. Heisey taking a shot, pass complete, good for the first down on the slant route. It's the junior Isaiah Stewart making another grab. Picks up 8, moves the chains. And clock is winding down for the Raiders. They're going to end their regular season with an 0-9 record, the 3rd year in a row for Scotch Plains. And the past 2 years, they've won the consolation game. Looking for Layler and an incredible grab. Cooper Heisey to Dwight Layler so many times over the past 3 years. And they connect for a huge gain inside the Westfield 35 at the 33. The Raiders trying to get in the end zone one last time this afternoon. With 3:30 to go. High snap. Heisey pass is juggled and caught by Dwight Layler. And he tiptoes down the sideline. Down around the 12.
Hang on. I'm looking. Looks to be on the 11-yard line.
Down to the 11-yard line, 1st and 10.
Maybe the 12-yard line. 12.
4 receivers for the Raiders. Sislo in the backfield. He's going to get the carry and takes a shot on his side after picking up a few yards.
Ball's down to the 6-yard line. Fumble!
Ball is out and Westfield recovers. Rory McGovern comes up with the football. And the Westfield defense gets another stop, another turnover to wrap things up here in Westfield. Just 3 minutes to go. Nice to see McGovern get in the stat sheet. So many sacks this year and comes up with the fumble recovery.
Yes. Yeah, 10-yard line.
So we'll see some second unit guys for the Blue Devils. Believe Nicky Martini is in the backfield. Martini gets the carry, nowhere to go, wrapped up.
Martini carries.
You got wholesale changes. I see DeRozan in there.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down.
Matt O'Connor.
2nd and 11 for the Blue Devils. Martini in the backfield. Emmett Smith, the only receiver. It's a run to the right. Martini will get that yard back to bring up 3rd and 10. Scotch Plains not going to bother calling a timeout as we approach the 2-minute mark here in the final quarter. 35-14. Westfield gets their 33rd consecutive victory streak that started on Thanksgiving Day of 2014 against the Plainfield Cardinals. A 6-0 victory on the road. And here we are, 33 wins later. 3rd and 10. Martini able to break free for a second, has a couple yards there.
Out to the 15-yard line.
But Will Kessler will come on one last time and punt this away.
Timeout.
And this time, Scotch Plains will call a timeout and will step aside on BDTV. 35-14, a minute and change remaining. So with a minute 24, 3 straight runs for backup sophomore Nicky Martini. Westfield forced to punt it away. Kessler's done a great job all season. Fair catch taken at the SPF 47. Fair catch by Justin Sanders. And a couple words between Sanders and Freer after that. Definitely a chippy performance. Couple personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conducts. But all in all, the Blue Devils get the job done.
Megan Logan, if you can, come to the booth.
Heisey hands it off for a gain of about 2.
On the tackle.
Isaiah Reese, the senior, making a big tackle.
He's coming to move.
Reese, a fan favorite, 4-year
Timeout.
player in the program. First time getting some varsity action this season in his senior year. A regular on the special teams unit. Another timeout taken. Got 1:04 to go. All smiles on the Westfield sideline. They outscore the Raiders by 21-0 in the second half. Hank Shapiro with an incredible game with 4 touchdowns, tying his career high that he set against Watchung Hills. 3 of those were to McDaniel, 1 to Barden. This afternoon, he had 2 touchdowns to Stevie Barden,
No Levy on the stop.
Levy and Reese
1
on
to
the
Griffin
tackle.
Rooney.
Reese, good call.
Jake Valabera got in the end zone. And another timeout taken.
Timeout. Scotch Plains-Fanwood.
And again, we'll step aside on BDTV. So final minute of action. Heisey with barely any defense. It looked like a forward pass, and then we see another pass.
There's a penalty on the play.
It was definitely a forward pass. The receiver didn't even make an effort to catch it because he knew it was a forward pass. Raiders trying to throw some trickery.
We'll wave off the flag. Bring up 4th down.
42 seconds on 4th and 3. Disappointing finish to this football game for the Raiders. Played a great first half, and they should have tied it in the middle of the third quarter. They were
Carry
driving down the field.
on the play.
Heisey completed a lot of great passes. Layler, Stewart, Porter, and Sanders, the receivers, all had some nice stats in this game. But then Asislo, who also had a great game, just tried to extend the football into the end zone, and it got away from him. And that was the turning point for this 33rd consecutive victory.
Cecil carry.
And after the first down, they get another yard, and that is how it's going to end.
That's the end of the
It
game.
wasn't easy, but the Blue Devils find a way. 35-14 the final, 33 in a row, and we'll be back at right here at Gary Kaler Stadium next Saturday for the first round of the state tournament. Westfield gets the job done. They improve to 8-0. For our entire crew here on BDTV, our cameraman Glenn Warner doing a terrific job. Our analyst Chris Witzel had to leave halfway through this fourth quarter. I'm Michael Leonard saying so long from Westfield. We'll see you next week. Blue Devil post game with the stars of the afternoon. Westfield taking care of their arch rival Scotch Plains 35-14 for their 33rd consecutive victory. Hank Shapiro, the starting quarterback, had 4 touchdowns and unofficial 301 yards. Hank, explain this incredible performance today. You were clicking, finding a lot of your new receivers and younger receivers.
Oh, it was a great job today by all our players, but our linemen did an especially good job of protecting me. Griffin and Emmett made some big plays in the red zone that helped us get the win today.
And could you talk about this Scotch Plains team? You guys probably expected to blow them out today, but they gave you guys a run for your money in the first half.
Oh, they're a great team, and they're going to push us as hard as we can in this rivalry, and we're just going to work hard and do our best to win this game.
Appreciate it, Hank. Great game here with Emmett Smith. had incredible kick returns all season, another one today, and then found the end zone for the first time. How'd it feel?
Felt great. I'm so happy to get my first touchdown of the season. Just happy when I first time out of the way. Not gonna be the last.
Thank you, Emmett. And Griffin Rooney, the sophomore, has came in a lot this year as a receiver and got wide open. Talk to me about that, your touchdown.
That was all Hank, man. I just ran my route. Perfect throw.
Appreciate it, Griffin. Great game. And we got the left tackle and the right tackle, the Macaulay duo. Jack, you're a senior leader, a captain for this team. What was going on at halftime in the locker room? You guys were not supposed to be tied against this Scotch Plains team.
Listen, we made adjustments, Mike. I got in my bag, of course, and offensively, we made a lot of blocking, assignments, changes, and stuff like that. And in the end, we came out with a W. That's what we wanted. That's what matters. Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it, Jack. And finally, last but not least, the sophomore tight end, Colin Freer. It was a long day, Colin. You were getting beat up a lot of many penalties didn't go your way, but all in all, you guys found a way, fought through it, scored 21 unanswered points. Had this team in the end get the job done in the second half?
At halftime, I mean, in the locker room, our seniors really stepped up and they really took control and they took leadership. So that was a big help in this win. So we just got to move on to the playoffs and do what we're doing.
And what's the mindset going forward? You guys are either going to be taking on Ridge or Watchung Hills or Bayonne next Saturday. You got 4 home games this month. How are things feeling?
One game at a time. I mean, this week's practice got to be intense. It's got to be better than last week's practice, but we just got to take it one game at a time and hope we keep going.
Wise words from the sophomore, Colin Freer. Westfield gets their 33rd consecutive victory. Jakey had a huge play on that interception. You almost took it. It looked like you were in the end zone. Take me through that play and what you saw as soon as that ball got popped up in the air.
Well, I was at safety, like I saw the slant, so I had to come up. Went through his hands, I saw it up, just plucked it out of the air and just started running with it.
And Jake, at halftime, you were a senior captain, and you guys 7-0 coming into today. Scotch Plains is 0-8. Yeah, you guys are rivals, but you guys were not expecting to be tied at 14. What was said? Who stepped up in the locker room, and how'd you change the outcome of this game?
Well, every senior stepped up. We said we didn't want to be the team that lost to Scotch Plains. We've had a good history winning against them, but we didn't want to be the team. And guys stepped up. Guys you don't think of, like seniors that don't really start but came in for a play and got the first down. Whoever made a tackle on special teams. So our seniors stepped up because in the playoffs you lose and it's good. You go home, and we want to eventually get to our goal of MetLife, and this was a good lesson for it. Always be on our toes and get ready.
Appreciate it, Jake. Great game, and we'll see you next week in the first round. Westfield takes care of business against Scotch Plains.